Turn me up, turn me up. Let me know if that's better, if that's worse. Please let me know. Meanwhile, I want to say good evening to everyone. Hello, hello. I have missed all of you. I was not here last week because I was very, very, very sick. I've been sick for 2 weeks, y'all. And an inside joke to those who were in the live with Will last week. I didn't wear my shades tonight, so yeah. How is everyone? Let me know if I'm coming through clear to everyone, please. Hi, Diana Henderson, Diane Parker. Hello, Debbie Kidd. Hey, honey. Sincere. Hi, how are you? Welcome. Miss Debbie, good evening to you too. Ethel Smith, Joy Joyce, hello, I love your name. Mary Binkley, Joyce Ricketts, hello. Contessa Harris, hi. Lupe Ruiz, hello, how are you? Diane Parker didn't know I was sick. Yeah, I was sick as a dog. Suzanne Go Grand Go. Hi from Florida. Wish I was there where it's nice and sunny and warm. Judy Lewis. Hi from Houston. Hello to you as well. Gladys Coleman. Hello. You can't hear that good? Yeah, volume a little low. Okay, I'm going to turn up a little bit more. Let me know if that's better. Okay? Because I don't know why my volume is trash today. Patty O, hi. Hello, Miss Little Miss Boutique. Sheila Cushionberry, hi. Diane Jordan, you're new here. Well, welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. I appreciate that. Rachel, I haven't seen you here either. Good evening to you as well. Donna Williams, hello. Joyce Rickett says I'm clear, cool. Debbie says I am sweet. Denise McIntosh, hello. How are you this evening? Sheila Chan, hi. Diane Parker says it's not 100% clear. I apologize. Ronnie's Raps though says I'm clear. Hello to you too, Ronnie's Raps. Thank you. Jonah Thomas, clear here in Georgia. Sweet. Denise, much better. Sweet, sweet. Okay, cool. Sheila Cushionberry says you're watching on your new laptop. Hubby got you for your birthday. Well, guess what that means? You get a little ring for your laptop. Woo! Congratulations on your new laptop. I got a new laptop as well. I don't have it up and running right now, which is pathetic. But again, I was sick. Okay, so I bought a new laptop about 2 weeks ago, so that I could get it up and running and use it for live broadcast only, so that hopefully we can eliminate a lot of the streaming issues I've been having lately. But I got sick, so I ended up with some kind of viral something or other where it was a lot of coughing and sinus, extreme sinus bad, and I don't want to get too much into it, but then I started getting better from that after a week, and then it went to my chest and pink eye. So it was like, oh my god, I cannot win. So all last week I was down with pink eye. The week before that, down with sinus pain and pressure. So this week I feel a lot better. Not 100% sure I'm over the pink eye at this point. Don't care. I'm tired of being sick. And then ended up helping a really good friend Friday and Saturday with some home staging. There's a mansion being sold in the Charlotte area, so I went to go help her stage the house. So that was a lot of work, but it was fun. So learned a lot. And so really excited about getting back in with you guys because I did miss you last week. And there's somebody, I wrote it down somewhere and now I can't find it, where I was supposed to ring the bell for them 2 weeks ago. Actually, it was 3 weeks ago, and didn't get to ring the bell. She mentioned it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, we need to ring the bell." But then we started talking about something dealing with what she bought, and never did get to ring the bell, and I feel really bad. So I'm gonna go back and watch that again and make sure I write it down this time. So yeah, I am glad I'm feeling better. So crafty, hello Leah Nelson. Good evening to you as well, my love. Thank you for being here. Angel, hello. It's your first time. You're excited? Well, we're excited too. Thank you for joining us. Happy to have you here. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the description. I'm sorry, not in the description, in the comments, and I'll take my time going through these comments and answer your questions. Also, please take a moment to hit that like button. I would really appreciate it because the like button lets YouTube know you guys are enjoying the content. It lets me know that you're enjoying the content so we can keep the content rolling, you guys. So thank you so much ahead of time. please hit the like button. If you're on your mobile device, just hit live chat. Once you hit live chat, the chat will go away and you can click the like button for me, please. And then once you hit live chat, your chat comes right back. So thank you again. I really appreciate that. Um, let's see. Diana Henderson says better. Gladys Coleman can't hear you well. I know. I don't know what's going on with my microphone. I'll move it a little bit closer, see if that helps. But I've been having issues all over the place. You know what? I would take the audio issues over the lag issues any day. I really would. So I apologize. One of these, I used to be really technically savvy with a lot of stuff, but lately I just hadn't felt like looking into it. And I know that's sad, but I do really need to get into the technical stuff and get everything set up just so that you guys don't have issues. So yeah. Let me see. I saw a machine. Joyce Ricketts, you got a new brother PE600. It's a really great machine. Woo! And then Joyce got a new machine. So first, Joyce Ricketts, let's ring the bell for your PE600 baby. Woo! Congratulations! Yay! Look, I know y'all can hear that bell though, can't you? Congratulations. And then Joyce, you got a new machine, a brother SE 1900. Congratulations on your new baby. That is awesome. What did you name your babies? Joyce Ricketts says her baby's name is In the Meantime. I know that's right, girl. That's what we'll be doing in the meantime, right? I love it. Absolutely love it. So thank you very much for sharing that with me. That's awesome. I'm looking to add to the collection too. Don't know when that baby's coming, but I'm really excited about that one. Diane Parker says, glad you're feeling better. Thank you very much. Debbie D says, hi, Eve and everyone. Hello. So glad you're feeling better. I am. I'm getting right back. I'm probably at like 96% me. So I can't complain too much about that. Charlene Mitchell, hello. Good evening to you as well. Lisa Donnelly says hello. Well, hello to you, my dear. Thank you for joining us. Raina says hello. Hello to you as well. Lisa Donnelly says hello to everyone else as well. Veronica Williams says hi, E from Monroe. Well, welcome from Monroe. Girl, you need to hit me up so that we can get together and have a coffee run or something. I'm out there. Matter of fact, I will be out that way this week, actually. So I don't know what you got going on during the week, but tomorrow I need to go out that way. Tomorrow or Tuesday. Haven't determined which day it's going to be, but I do need to go out there. So let me know. That would be lovely to meet up with you. Lupe Ruiz says thumbs up. Thank you for letting me know. That's awesome. Raina says the PE600 is an awesome machine. I upgraded to a bigger machine and will have to let the 800 go, but I'm having the hardest time doing it. I love it so much. Well, I'm glad you enjoy the machine. One thing's for certain, if you can manage to do so, keep it. Don't let it go, because one of the things that I've learned is as your business grows, you'll find out that having two machines is quite handy. Okay, so you could be working on two different projects at the exact same time. So think twice about letting that machine go if you can do that. Okay, that would be something that I think would be quite helpful. All right, so let us see. Pearl Lucas says hi, even everyone. Hello to you as well, Miss Pearl Lucas. And Little Miss Boutique says much better. Thank you. Miss Eartha Lewis is in the house, y'all. Hi, even everyone from Port Allen, Louisiana. To be glued. Love that name. Woo woo. New SE600 for Nick in New Hampshire up here. Well, let's ring the bell for your SE600. Congratulations, Nick. That's awesome. And I love your business name, To Be Glued. That's awesome. Congratulations on your 600. We'll be talking a little bit about your machine tonight here shortly. So I look forward to you joining in on that discussion. Allison 1977 1 says hi. Hello to you as well. Joanne Reeves says hi. I appreciate your talent and learn so much. Well, thank you for letting me know that. Sometimes it's difficult to know that it's being helpful, the content is, so thank you. And if you have any questions, please feel free to shoot them my way. Joyce Rickett says her aim is the Brother PR1050. Well, let us know when that baby makes its debut, and we'll definitely get the bell ready for it. It's awesome to have goals set aside because that gives you something to reach forward to and work a little bit harder on some of those embroidery projects and making money, right? I know that's how it is here anyway. Will is in the house. Hey, Will, how are you? Maria says hi, even everyone. Hello to you. Patrick Quinlan. Diana Henderson says hi to Will. Valerie Hale says, good evening, everyone. Hi, Eve. I'm working on a project for State Fair and watching and listening to you all at the same time. State Fair, that sounds exciting. What is the theme of some of the things that you're working on? Are you going to be doing carnival-themed items to sell at the carnival? Or what? State-themed items to sell at the State Fair. So let us know. That would be cool to find out. Suzanne Go Grango says hello to Will. Marilyn Ray says hello. Sarita, hello. How are you? Thank you for joining us. She says hi, Eve, and everyone from the UK. Welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. To Be Glued says, I think I would be a blast to have at a party. It depends on what time the party is, all right? If it's later at night, no, I'm going to be ready for bed. But a little bit early in the day, I do tend to have a great time and enjoy being around everyone. And speaking of that, you guys, we do have a party coming up, okay? It's a huge party, and it's an exclusive party, all right? So I have been letting folks know for the last month that we actually have a cruise set, okay? So May 18th of 2020, May 18th, so May of next year, May 18th, 2020, we will set sail on Carnival, and we will be sailing to the Bahamas, okay? So we do have the cruise is already set up. Tickets are being bought. Cabins are selling left and right. I am really excited about how well it's actually selling for us, but you have until May, I want to say it's May 4th. You haven't, because that's right, May the 4th be with you. So you have until May 4th to get your deposit in, or the price will go up, okay? I was let know that I was told that by the booking agent. She was like, they can only guarantee that one price for a set amount of time. After that, the price goes up. And I was like, oh my God. So I did let you guys know that that was a possibility. Well, it is. So you have until May 4th to put down a $25 deposit for your space. All right. It is double occupancy. So you have to have 2 people in the cabin. All right. So there will be crafting classes on board. There will be free crafting classes, and there will be paid crafting classes available on board. And they're going to be in the subjects of different things that can complement embroidery. All right. So there'll be embroidery classes. There'll be Cricut classes. There'll be silhouette classes. We already have a teacher set up for all of this. We're also looking to make sure we have screen print on there. I was told to ask jewelry making and soap making. We're looking into it. I haven't found a jewelry maker yet, well, I have found a soap maker, but not a jewelry maker. So if you think that goes with embroidery, we may look at adding that as well, because it is a crafting cruise. So we do want it to be inclusive of all of the crafts, or as many of the crafts as we can, but embroidery is first and foremost. So I'm super excited about that. And you can go to customcraftcruise.com. I'll put it in the comments below so that you can go ahead and sign up for it. I can't type and talk at the same time. But you can go ahead and click customcraftcruise.com and sign up. That's my end of the website. As soon as you sign up, it will shoot you right over to the booking page, okay? And you can book directly with Miss Debbie Hanna. You can call her. If you have any special arrangements, she'll take care of all of that for you. It's just, I'm so excited about all of it. So you guys, please definitely check that out. If you can cruise with us, we would love to have you. We are going to have a huge party, all right? I am going to make sure we turn that ship out. All right? I'm just saying. I ain't finna get on no cruise ship and be bored. It's not about to happen. So we're going to have a really good time. I'm looking forward to any and everyone that can join us. I really look forward to meeting all of you. And we have a couple of other YouTubers that will be on there as well. So we're excited. All right. So I'm going to get back to the questions and whatnot. Some changes in the studio. Will, I don't even want to talk to you about that right now. Let me go back up. Lisa Donnelly says they look really good. Thank you, Lisa. I had to put the hot mamas in. I didn't care. I was going to make it happen. So I'm going to have to figure that thing out later. I may regret this, but that was my decision today. Patrick Quinlan retired Friday. Congratulations. Oh my God. That is amazing. That is a huge achievement. A lot of folks look forward to retiring. So that means you're going to have to amp up with the embroidery, right? Because you can't sit around and do nothing. But congratulations on your retirement, sir. That is awesome. I am very happy for you. One of these days, I'll get to that point. Barbara Raymond says hello from Nowlands. Glad you're feeling better. Thank you. I am feeling a lot better. Valerie says, no, I am making a quilt. My last 3 quilts, I've ribbon on them and working on doing a quilt for the fair. That's pretty cool. I heard that there's a couple of fairs where they will have quilting. I don't think there's been one at ours. Now there's going to be a fair here in Charlotte soon, but most of the fairs I thought were in the fall. So that's pretty cool. That your fair is coming up too. So hopefully you'll win some more ribbons this year, ma'am. Janet McKinney says, hello girls, late but you're here and we love having you here. Miss McKinney, thank you very much. As always, love having you in our discussions. Thank you for letting me know you're wishing me better. Nancy Faust says, hello from Iowa. Welcome, Miss Nancy Faust. Always a pleasure having you as well. Patrick Quinlan says, Valerie, you just finished your last quilt for the winter. Well, I guess winter is about over, isn't it? American Stitchers, hello from the Smoky Mountains. I finally caught you live. Well, welcome from the Smoky Mountains. I like going to the mountains. Looking forward to my mountain trip already. So, yes. And Will says, hashtag Hoop Cruise. Thank you very, very much. Will, you have a good night. Patrick lets Debbie know thank you. Sorry, I'm going through the thingy. Angel says you're from the Bahamas. Well, cool. Come sail back with us and visit. Suzanne says hello from Texas. Well, welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. Debbie Kidd says one of your friends make jewelry and you think she's coming. She does wire wrapping. Well, that sounds pretty neat. I'll get in touch with you and you can let me know if she's interested in showing how to do some wire wrapping jewelry. So that sounds like that could be pretty cool. Janet McKinney says, what about Sew It Pro or vinyl? Oh, vinyl is definitely going to be on there. Vinyl is going to be a part of the silhouette because we actually have a sponsor coming up for the silhouette. So I'm excited about that. I'm not saying anything until we get the paperwork signed, but there is definitely a silhouette teacher and vinyl going along with that and a sponsor with the vinyl. So I'm super excited. And of course, Sew It Pro is going to be there. We're definitely going to make that happen as well. Jody S says hi from Virginia. Hello. How are you? Thank you for joining us this evening. Let us see. Suzanne Go Grand Go says State Fair in Raleigh in October has had quilts. Okay. So Raleigh isn't too terribly far and I definitely can do the State Fair. So we'll have to go so that I can take a look at the quilts. And we also were looking to have a quilter there as well. Some quilting classes because quilting and embroidery is hand in hand. Now, I have had one person suggested for quilting. So let me know if you know of someone else who may be interested in cruising with us and teaching quilting. Please let me know. But as of right now, I'm not sure of the other person. So, and Bling, Rhinestones will be on board as well. All right. Hello, Miss Social Dev. How are you? Maria, hello. You're waiting for me to come to Atlanta or Macon, Georgia. That's not too terribly far. We can make that happen, I'm sure. Maria says, you've done very little sewing and embroidering. I'm in a dry spell right now. I hope to get back to it soon, though. Is that a dry spell because you wanted it to be a dry spell or because business just hasn't been coming through? Please let me know, and we will definitely hope that you get some more work if it's work that you're looking for. But I know I put myself in a dry spell purposely because I was like getting tired and overworked. All right. Lupe says, yes, come visit Atlanta. That sounds like a fun trip because I definitely want to go visit the Gnold warehouse. I've always wanted to go visit there. So we'll have to see that. See if we can't make that happen. RK Bonds, hello from Florida. Hello, hello. How are you? Welcome back to the channel. Definitely. Barbara Nance says, good evening. Well, hey, Miss Barbara Nance, how are you? Happy anniversary again to you and your husband. That is a phenomenal accomplishment when you can go another year without killing each other. It's a very good thing. Very good thing. Patrick Quinlan says you might be interested in the quilting thing. All right, cool. Let me know because you are a master quilter, aren't you? Please let me know. And Valerie says, sorry you keep coming in, but I would love to do the quilting also among other things. Sweet. We'll definitely check that out. All right. So send me a message and let me know, and we'll see about getting you guys scheduled if you would like to join in on that class. All right. So I wanted to jump in. It is going on 20 minutes after. Thank you guys for being in here first and foremost. I always appreciate all of you guys coming in with us. And I would like to have you all join in on this discussion this evening because it's a pretty heavy topic and I get this question a lot. All right. So it boils down to new quilters, Lord Father. It boils down to new embroiderers. All right. So they just get into embroidery. They're really excited about embroidery and they want to buy a machine. Is it worth it to purchase the 4x4 machine? All right. So what do you think? Do you say yes or do you say no? Is it worth it to buy the 4x4 machine? So what I will definitely point out to those who have joined in on this discussion or who is watching this replay later, if you're looking at getting into doing embroidery and you purchase the 4x4 machine, and that's what your budget allows for, okay? Because one of the things a lot of folks don't take into consideration when they say don't get a 4x4 machine is they don't take into consideration a person's budget, all right? So I started out with a 4x4 machine. Number one, I had no clue what all was entailed when it came to embroidery. I just thought it sounded cool and wanted to get into it, and the machine was a really good deal. That's why I bought that machine. But then when I went back later and started doing my research on some of the embroidery equipment and I found out just how much some of that equipment was, I was like, oh my God, this is a fool. So the 4x4 machine, you're roughly looking at somewhere between $300 to $350 for an embroidery machine. A full-fledged, do just about anything simple you would want to do with an embroidery machine, you can actually do it. So I want to tell someone who may be limited in just that, I mean, like that amount, 300, 350 is a stretch for them, a little bit of a stretch. Go for it. You know, don't break your bank to go with a $600-700 embroidery machine if you know your budget can't allow for it. All right. And especially if you don't know if you're going to like embroidery or not. And the reason why I say that is because one of the things I found is embroidery machines actually have a really high resale value. Okay. So you could get the smaller 4x4 machine that's about $350, and you could sell it on OfferUp or something like that for $300, maybe $275 to make sure that it moves, $280, and you actually can sell it. One of the things that I've seen a lot of people do is they'll get the $300, $350 embroidery machine and they sell it for $350, and they're like, well, I'm adding thread and I'm adding this and I'm adding that. But what they fail to realize is a lot of folks are like, well, I'd rather buy it brand new and get a warranty. You got to think a little bit different from that. If you're trying to upgrade, you know, you're going to have to take a little bit of a loss because you did use the machine. Now, if you didn't use the machine, that's different, but that's a whole nother story. So let's go back to the chat and see who else wants to weigh in on that. Barbara Nance says, Joy, she got the SE 1900 last August and she loves it. Not sure if that's the 4x4 or not. Let me know if it is. Debbie D says, yes, it's a great machine to learn on. And it is. And a simple machine to learn on as well. Joanne Reeves, yes, it's worth it. I have an SE425. I have that too. Debbie Kidd, yes, on the 4x4. Mary says, yes, I love my brother machine. Love, love, love it. Jody S, yes and no. If you end up loving it and will end up wanting a machine with bigger hoops. I agree. Okay, but we'll get into that in a moment. Marilyn Ray says, yes, for the 4x4. I have the SE400. I have that one as well. Debbie Kidd, I'm like you, Eve. I didn't know anything about embroidery, but thought it would be fun. Yes. Miss Jalil's in the house. Hey, darling, how are you? Thank you for joining me this evening. Barbara Nance says to Patrick, congratulations on your retirement, which I want to say that again. I'm trying to tell you that's a big step. American Stitcher says, I bought a 4x4 because I didn't know if I would like it. I did, so I sold my 4x4 and bought a 5x7. I now have a 6 needle. See, that's the step. That's the progression that I'm talking about. Very natural progression, very easy to do. American Stitchers, how hard was it for you to sell your 4x4 machine? All right, that's a good question I would like to know. Lupe says, I got the Brother SE400 last December. Barbara Nance is a 5x7 suite. Okay, so you're looking at the equivalent of the PE600 or the PE600, so that's good. RK Barnes says, I kept my SE425 just for 4x4 hooping. Hi, Fresh Roses Designs. Thank you for tuning in with us this evening. Maria says, is anyone having trouble with the volume? Yes, Maria, the volume I do know is a fool this evening. I apologize in advance. So definitely, see, and Jody says you want a 6 needle, but affording it is a fool. I'm not going to kid you, okay? So a lot of people, okay, don't realize they look and see what other people have, and their thing is they see it, so they want it too. I'm not gonna lie, I did as well. I saw my 6 needle. I saw the 6 needle, and that thing was like a deer in the headlights. I wanted it, and I wanted it bad, and I was gonna get it, but I had no clue how. And then when I went to go ask questions about prices, and they're hitting me with the $9,000 price tag, and I'm like, time out. We need to think this thing through a little bit more, because that's a huge jump to go from $350 to $9,000. Okay, you're talking about a cheap car. Okay, but is it worth it? Yes, it's worth it. But can you budget it? Can you afford that? That's the question that people really have to be honest and ask themselves. And especially if you're thinking, okay, well, if I get a 6 needle, I'm gonna make more than enough money to pay for it. Blah blah. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. And that's the other reason why I say the 4x4 machine is a great place to start. Okay, 4x4 is a great place to start. So let's go back to the 4x4 machine. We're not going to jump on the 6 needle just yet bandwagon. That's going to be the subject of a future video. But for right now, we're going to talk about the 4x4 machine, because it is pretty important to know what you're up against. All right, so let me back up, and I'm going to grab the hoop off of my 4x4. Okay, so here is your 4x4 hoop. Here's your 4x4 hoop. So people are like, oh, well, I'm going to have 4 inches by 4 inches to embroider. No, that's not true. Okay, so there's another downside that they don't really tell people when they purchase the 4x4 machine. All right, so you have to understand that all of these embroidery machines were made overseas. So if it wasn't made here in the U.S., the U.S. uses inches. We're the only country that regularly uses inches. We're special people. All right, we just are. So all other countries, every other country in the world uses metric system. So they're using millimeters when they're measuring their hoops. So the 4x4 technically is a 100 by 100 millimeter hoop. That's your embroidery area, 100 by 100. 100 millimeters is not quite 4 inches. It's just below that. So it's important for you to know that if you're going to consider purchasing that 4x4 embroidery machine, that it's not going to be exactly 4 inches by 4 inches. I was frustrated when I found that out. Okay, not that it's really that big of a deal, because most of the embroidery designs that are out there that are made for the 4x4 machine, they take that into consideration and they automatically make it 100 by 100 or less. Okay, so you don't really have to stress about that too bad, except for when you're trying to make your own embroidery designs and put them together, and you want to make it right at 4 inches. It's not going to work. You're not going to be able to stitch it out on this machine. Okay, so you'll have to keep that in mind, that it has to be 100 millimeters or less both ways. Now, the cool thing about that is you're not limited to 100 millimeters by 100 millimeters. Okay, there is an option out there. It's called a repositional hoop. Okay, now please understand that when you purchase this repositional hoop off of Amazon, it's going to say that it is a 5x7 hoop. In a way, they're right. If you take a ruler and you measure it, it does look like it comes out to 5x7, but that's not the right measurement of this. Okay, because your embroidery machine can only read 100 by 100. So you're tricking your embroidery machine to read 100 by what is it, 6.78, I think is what it is. So 4 inches by 6.78 inches this way. So you're still going to be limited this way by 100 millimeters. Okay, so it's not going to be quite 4 inches this way. You have to be limited by that. There's no way to get around that. It really isn't. But there's a way to get around it going this way, and that's what this hoop is for. So keep that in mind. You are not limited to 100 by 100. You can actually go larger, all right? But that, I do have a video on that. So if you're interested in the repositional hoop and how it works with the 4x4 machine, just do a search in YouTube for repositional hoop. Repositional hoop by the Baby's Booty, and that video will come up and it'll show you how you can incorporate the repositional hoop with that 4x4 machine. So again, the 4x4 embroidery machine is worth it. Now, to go into what someone else mentioned earlier, you will want to go bigger eventually. If you love embroidery, if you get into it and you're like, man, this is awesome, I love it, I want more, this is just too small, I want to go bigger, then you will want to naturally go bigger. So until you can afford to make the switch to the larger 5x7 machine, this hoop will come in handy for that. Okay, so this will help make you feel a little bit better until you get to that larger machine. Now, once you get to the larger machine, you'll be good for a good while, because a lot of the really cool in the hoop projects and stuff are made with the 5x7 machine. All right, but meanwhile, you gotta stick within your budget and let that 4x4 machine do what you need it to do to make a little bit of money to help build up your bank account to get to the 5x7 machine. Okay, so let's go back to the chat and see what's going on. Raina says 5x7 is her favorite hoop, and it is. That's one of the first go-tos that most people want to purchase, and a lot of the really cool embroidery designs, the minimum is 5x7. Unfortunately, it's a fact. But there are still a whole lot of stuff that's out there that you can do with the 4x4 embroidery machine. So if you just do a search in my videos of 4x4, you'll see several projects come up that you can do with the 4x4 embroidery machine. Jay Allison says, new to embroidery, you bought the PE600. That was an excellent purchase, Jay Allison. I'm not going to knock that at all. If you can afford to do the 5x7, do the 5x7. I will say that. If you can afford it, go for it. All right. So if you are standing there at the store and you're like, okay, which route do I take? I'm new. I don't know which route to take. Should I do the 4x4 or should I do the 5x7? I'm going to tell you do the 5x7 every time if you can afford it. Do the 5x7. That is the better choice. But if you can't afford it, stick with the 4x4, and I promise, just be happy with it for a little bit till you build up to get to the 5x7. All right. So Mary Binkley says, sound great here in Florida. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know that, because sometimes it is, the volume can go in and out, and I'm trying to talk a little bit louder to help make sure that the word gets through clearly. Miss Social Dev says, She likes the combo with the 4x4. Can sew also, makes a great second machine down the road when you're ready to jump to a bigger hoop. That is absolutely correct. That 4x4 and back up, in my opinion, sewing machine, it is a lot of fun and it is cool because I have switched one of my embroidery machines over to a sewing machine a couple of times and used it when my regular sewing machine went down, because I do have just a plain sewing machine that I use for sewing, and I try to leave my embroidery machines as just embroidery. But if you have to switch, it's not a hard thing to do, easy and easy to put right back. So that's another thing I do like with the SE machines. They are a lot of fun. Maria says, wait a minute, nope, let's go back. Let's go back. Eartha Lewis. That's where I was. Sorry. Yes, I started with a 4x4 and went to a 5x7. Sometimes I run them both at the same time if I have a lot of orders. And definitely, for sure, if you can get the 5x7 and keep the 4x4, do that. If your business is picked up to that point, you will find it helpful. I promise you will, because you are going to come up with an order at some point and you're going to be like, dang nabbit, I only have the one machine, and you'll wish that you had another one. It's an inexpensive way to have more than one machine going at a time, all right? Because I promise, a multi-head machine, you think $9,000 for a 6-needle machine is a lot of money? Look into a multi-head machine. It is a fool. You might as well buy a house. A small house, but you might as well buy a house. Those machines are not cheap, all right? Maria says, thank you for letting me know. I turned my volume all the way up and still can barely hear. I thought something was wrong with my laptop. No, I'm sorry, Maria. It's not. I'm constantly having issues lately. So until I get the new laptop up and running and figure out how I can transition all my settings over, we're having to be stuck with the older laptop. So I apologize. American Stitcher says it wasn't hard at all to sell your 4x4. I decided to keep my 5x7 after buying the multi-needle. See, so it's not difficult to offload the machine if you don't like embroidery. Now, don't get it twisted. There are some people who buy it. I've seen it on Craigslist, and they're like, I don't have time to do it. I just don't want to do it. And they're selling off that 4x4 machine. It's okay. And those machines don't last. All right. So that's also how I got a couple of my embroidery machines. The first one I bought from the store. The second two I bought off of Craigslist, off of used. And I think the cheapest I bought was $200 for one of them. So that's another way to get a really good deal on an embroidery machine if you can do that. So look into getting that done, and you can. Jody S says, no, you can't get any business now. You have a 4x4 and a PE600. So you are going to be faced sometimes with that problem as well, which is also why I say if you can't afford to spring for the larger machine, stick with the smaller and let the business build itself up. There will be dry spells. There will be dry spells, especially if you don't have like a residual type of contract. Like for instance, I do some embroidery for a cheer team. Okay, so they have functions year round, fortunately, and they keep me pretty busy. But if you're doing smaller projects like baby gifts and stuff like that, that's how I started. Well, then once you're doing those smaller baby gifts, I mean, after a while, folks ain't really having babies as much. The babies kind of like slow down a little bit, and that's okay. So you kind of try to find a way to fill in, like maybe wedding favors or keychains for fundraisers for kids. There's other things that you can look into doing, but definitely having a smaller machine is not going to limit you from making money. It is not. There's a lot. You can do shirt monograms. There's a lot of things you can do with that 4x4 machine to continue making money. Maria says she started with the 4x4 to learn how to do embroidery several years ago. Then designs began to get larger and I purchased the 5x7. Then I went to a 6x10 hoop machine, which was my baby. Now I have a 9x14. So there is going to be, if you end up enjoying embroidery as much as we all do, you will progress to a larger machine. It's just, that's natural and that's what's going to happen. And that's okay. But again, take your time. It's not an overnight thing unless you have the funds for it. Okay. And then yeah, you can go bigger. I wouldn't stop you from doing that. Or I wouldn't suggest against it, rather I should say. Patrick says, depending on the project, I rotate the design about 45 degrees. I can get a little more size on designs. And that's true. That's true. You definitely can. Every so often, there is a way to do that with certain designs, and you can make it fit in that 4x4 area. Deborah says you made it. Well, welcome, my dear. Thank you for joining us this evening. We are weighing in on the benefits of purchasing the 4x4 embroidery machine. Is it worth it? All right. And that's one of my biggest questions that I've been getting a lot lately, because I guess with it being, I didn't think about it before. I guess with it being tax season, now folks are looking at purchasing a first embroidery machine. And I want to say, don't stop yourself from getting the 4x4 machine if your budget is limited. Okay, if you have a $400 budget and that's all you have, and there's not going to be anytime soon you're going to have any extra to add to it, go with the 4x4 machine for right now and let that little machine make you some money until you can build it up, and then go with the larger machine. Now, if you have the funds to get the larger machine, by all means do that first. But don't discount that little 4x4 machine just because your budget is super slim, and then you're like, well, I just won't buy anything because I don't know what to get. No, the 4x4 is an excellent choice. It's a great little machine. Patrick says it works best on patches, and patches is a easy way to make money. I don't know what it is. Patches are coming back in style. Folks love patches. So definitely look into doing that if all you have is that 4x4 machine, and put out there that you can make patches. There are also patches available that you can purchase and embroider them that are already made. Like, for instance, at a website called Urban Threads, they have some really cool patches, some trendy patches that would sell pretty well, I would think, especially with the younger crowd. So definitely look into doing some patches on your 4x4 machine if that's what you have. And if you're trying to find something else that you can add to what you already embroider to make some money with the smaller machine. Maria says the 9x4 is your baby lock, which I purchased in October and absolutely love it. I think I'll stop at this point. So it's all right to stop. I think you'll probably want to go bigger eventually. But yes, the baby lock is an awesome machine. Baby Lock and Brother are pretty much the same company. One just has, it's the same as the Toyota versus Lexus. They're the same company, and produce the same machines. So that's a good purchase as well. Raina says hoop envy is a real thing. It is. I upgraded to a 9x14 hoop and I hardly use it. My main hoop is still 4x4 and 5x7. And that's something else that I've noticed. A lot of times you end up getting the bigger hoops and you don't really use them. So what I found on my multi-needle machine, I do a lot of large embroidery, but in a lot of instances, I'm still doing small projects as well. So, but for me, I actively went out and searched for the larger projects. Okay, so I do a lot of blankets, a lot of jacket backs, and stuff like that. But the main stuff that I do, they're still small, like as far as going out and getting embroidery designs and things to do. So I find myself sometimes trying to find stuff to do with those bigger hoops. So 5x7 and 4x4 is the main one that most people use. Joyce Rickett says, is there another bigger hoop than the 5x12 repositional hoop? From what I understand, there is a larger hoop for my brother 6 needle machine. I believe there's a fast frame that's a little bit larger where you can embroider on one side, flip it around, and embroider on the second side the same way you do with the repositional hoop. I have not tried that yet, actually. So I considered looking into it when I was doing blankets at one point. But there was only the one blanket that I would have needed it for, and I ended up changing how I did the design, or I actually just moved the whole hoop, and mapped out the design so that I wouldn't have to purchase a whole nother hoop just for that one blanket. So, but from what I understand, there is a hoop that you can rotate and do larger. So it would be right at a 12 by 12, I guess, for lack of better words. But I don't know for sure if anyone other than the fast frames uses that size option. Raina says those huge hoops use a ton of stabilizer and it's just wasted. I love being able to use it when I need it, but it is costly. And it is. You do have to consider that. Instead of your regular smaller pieces of stabilizer, you are using a whole big old thing and have to use a large roll for stabilizer. I mean, that's the drawback to the larger hoops. But if you're doing something like the jacket back or the blankets, it's worth it. So you have to take that into consideration as well. Josephine, hello, how are you? Thank you for joining us this evening. Please don't forget to hit the like button. We would definitely appreciate that, and that lets YouTube know that we're doing what we're supposed to do. If you're on your mobile device, just hit live chat, and your live chat will go away, and then you can hit the like and then hit the live chat, and your live chat will come right back. And also, if you're not a subscriber to the channel, please subscribe. Take a moment to subscribe. We go live on Sundays, 8 p.m. Have a lot of discussions involving embroidery and some crafts dealing with embroidery. And we would love to have you joining us every week. So if you hit the subscribe and tap that bell notification, it's supposed to let you know whenever we go live. So I would appreciate you doing that as well. Thank you very, very much. Let us see here. Raina says 4x4s are fun and you can do so much with them. Yes, you can. There is a lot of projects that you can do with the 4x4 machine. Maria says her main hoop is also her 5x7, but her plans are to make your grandson a t-shirt quilt. That's cool. And I will need to use the larger hoop. Okay, so t-shirt quilts are really cool. I would love to see that when you're finished with it. So you're going to embroider on the t-shirts. Sounds really neat. Eartha Lewis says Amazon has the Brother PE600 for $594 if anyone is interested. Okay, so that is the 5x7 embroidery machine right now for $594. So if you have $600, you can have a 5x7 embroidery machine, and it is a great machine as well. Joyce Rickett says the 9x14, can the 9x14 be used on the PE600? 5x7, it is actually a 5x12 hoop. Joyce, it's a 5x12 is what it's actually boils down to. Okay. Judy Lewis says smaller machine is so much easier to travel with and take to class. That is true as well. So if you need to travel, go out of town on vacation and you want to embroider, you can pack that right up and take it with you. So yes, it is fun with that. Or if you want to do embroidery on location, just keep it to small embroidery designs or something that stitches out really quick with a low stitch count. And you can even take your embroidery machine with you on location and do some customizing on the spot. It is possible to do that. So you have to plan ahead though and make sure that folks are aware that they're limited with their selection, but it can be done so that it saves you some stress. Trust me. I've done that and made the mistake of not limiting folks. Leo says I started with the Janome 300, which had the 4x4 and 5x7. Upgraded to MB44 needle. Still have the 300 but haven't used it. Need to pull it back out since I'm doing more embroidery now. And again, that's the benefit of keeping up with both machines. It gives you a backup in case, say, your machine needs to go in the shop, or if you have more than one project going at the same time, they help you knock those projects right out. Raina says, Joyce, the machine is only capable of doing a 5x7 field even with the repo hoop. You're just moving the hoop to extend the design, but it's still a 5x7 field. That is correct. So what you have to, Diane Parker, no, I'm not using the one on board. I'm using my mounted mic with boom mic, which is separate. But as Raina is pointing out, which I can use this as an example, this is the 4x4 embroidery machine repositional hoop, and you can see that this hoop, the original 4x4 hoop, it has these two knobs right here. Okay, so these two knobs let the machine move within this 4x4 field or 100 by 100 millimeter field. Okay, but this one has 4 knobs on it. Okay, so for a lack of better words, it pretty much gives you a 4x4 field here where these 2 knobs are. Then you switch it over when you're ready to do this next little area, and it gives you the 4 inches here, or the 100 millimeters here, and then your 100 millimeters the opposite way, but it joins to the first one. And then this one gives you this other field, and it's not a true 4x4x4, which you would think it should be 4x12. It doesn't do that. So to make sure that everything comes together, it basically boils down to 4x2, 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 a little over 4x2. Okay. And I know I probably confused you, but keep in mind what you're doing is basically taking some 4x4 sections and squishing them together to get a full larger area to embroider on, and you're tricking the machine into thinking that it's still only doing 4x4, which technically it is, but you're moving this hoop along on the bracket. You're clicking it in different positions to give it that extra space and to keep you from moving your project, so your project stays still in the hoop, locked in the hoop, and you're not having to move your project itself. You're just moving the hoop. Okay, because otherwise what you would have to do is line up your project and unhoop it after you've embroidered the first thing, then hoop it again, move it over, hoop it again, lock it in place, embroider it, then take it out of the hoop, lock it in again, move it after you've moved it over, and lock it in. And you have to measure and make sure that everything lines up just so. And then you have to make sure that when you move it, that you don't move it too much, and now there's a gap and all that jazz. It's irritating. So that's what this hoop is for, is to eliminate that, so that you don't have to keep moving your hoop around. Okay. Josephine says your machine is a PE600. Picked it up used for $150 on offer up. It only had 54,000 stitches on it. Girl, when I tell you that was a deal, you got a really good deal on that embroidery machine. So again, yes, you don't have to pay the full price. You can get a really good deal on another machine. And even if you do have the 5x7, you can go and find you a 4x4 machine to use as a backup. Again, just in case something happens and your first machine goes down, because machines do need routine maintenance, you know, so while one is getting maintained, then you do have the other as backup. Debbie D says her first baby was a 4x4 in less than a year. You got the 5x7 and you love them. So that's what we're talking about. You can do the 4x4. It's totally attainable. And then you can easily move up. So Crafty as well started with the 4x4, moved up to the 5x7. Now she has the 6 needle and newer top of the line Sinolti large hoops. Go ahead on. But I always resort back to my 5x7 hoop. Trying to tell y'all. Lupe says I tried to use the 5x7 today, but my machine did not recognize the larger design. Why? When you're saying you use the 5x7, what you have to do is make sure that it is the true 5x7. And I can't look that up right now to save my life, because I don't want to mess up and cause a lag on my computer by coming off of my video software. But look up what those millimeters are. I want to say it's 180 by 140 or something to that effect. You want to make sure what your millimeter size is, and make sure that design is not larger than that. If you do, it will not pull up that design. I don't care how hard you try. If it is within that range, then make sure that the type of file is correct. Make sure it's a PES file. If you have the Brother embroidery machine, that is what your file extension should be. Okay, so those two things are going to keep your machine from recognizing whatever design that is, Lupe. So definitely go back and check the size of that. Also, sometimes, now depending upon where you got that design from, okay, so say for instance, you put a design together, you wanted to type out a name, if you have Sew It Pro. and you were typing out a name and you put your name down, Lupe Ruiz, okay, Ruiz, but you save the design, but when you pull it up in Sew It Pro again, it's showing bigger, but you only see this small thing within your hoop. There could be an extra something outside of the field that you don't know about, unfortunately. So, say for instance, you might have touched a letter or something, don't realize it, and it put it outside of the grid, and it makes the design larger, and you don't realize it. Okay, so then you'll have to edit the design and take that out. But there's a couple of reasons. There's 3 reasons definitely why your machine may not be recognizing that design. Let me know if any of that makes sense or has confused you, and we'll clarify. Marilyn Ray says you started out with the 4x4, then upgraded to the 5x7. Your 10-year-old granddaughter took your 4x4 and embroiders on it all the time. And yes, that is an excellent kid-friendly machine, and she can make money off of her little embroidery, and it's perfect for some of the things that they would want to do. Say if she wanted to embroider something on the hem of her jeans or on the sleeve of her jacket, she definitely can do that with that 4x4 machine. American Stitcher says, I also use the 4x4 hoop on my multi-needle. Sometimes it's all you need, and that's correct. Why use bigger if you don't have to? I do that quite frequently. I'll use my 4x4 and smaller. I have a 2x3 and a 3x4, I think, fast frame that I use very frequently on my 6-needle machine. Dorothy Gaston says, hello, hashtag hoop group looking good. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Kim Solomon says, hi from Connecticut. Hello, Kim. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Jerry says, I bought a used baby lock. Came with 4 hoops. The largest is 6x10. I'm still using the 4x4 and 5x7. And that's the common sizes that everybody uses. A lot of times there's no need to go bigger. A lot of times. Raina says, Lupe, was your design smaller than 5x7? It can't be 5.6 by 7.8. It has to be smaller than 5.7. All right. And So Crafty says, sorry, typo, meant to say with multi-size hoops. Okay. I was like, oh my gosh, she got some funky name brand hoops or something. I was wondering, I wasn't going to say anything, but that's cool. No problem. Multi-size hoops. Lupe says it was 5x7. You're new to embroidery, so you might be doing something wrong. Lupe, do you have Sew It Pro? I do want to ask you that. To be glued, some designs off Etsy have turned out to be impossible to stitch due to the excess density and overlapping stitches, and that's true as well. A lot of times I caution folks with purchasing embroidery designs from Etsy. There are some out there that are good. I'm not going to knock that in the least little bit. But I also have come across some horrible embroidery designs off of Etsy. Like, for instance, if you follow me on Instagram, there was a bag I just did. It was a Delta Sigma Theta bag, book bag, and it had the Delta Sigma Theta lettering on the front. Well, the Delta design, there was one point where it stitched over one part of that triangle twice. Completely stitched, double stitched it, and I have no clue why it would do that. That was the dumbest thing, and I was like, why is this? That's wasting stitches and wasting my time, frankly. So I don't understand why the designer left that in there that way, but I didn't know that ahead of time because I didn't make that design. It was sent to me. Otherwise I would have taken that out myself. All right, so you have to definitely take a look at what you're doing when you get it off of Etsy. Check your stitches, your stitch counts, and you could use a software program like Sew It Pro to remove some of that density, but the best method is purchasing a well-made design. There's a lot of notable designers out there that I use quite regularly. For fonts, for instance, I use Designs by Juju. I use Stitchtopia.com. I've also used Applique Corner for embroidery fonts. I also use Embroidery Library a lot for my embroidery designs, mostly them. I use Urban Threads for my embroidery designs, but my tried and true always go to 4x4 embroidery designs of things I love to make in the hoop. fonts as well, teeny fonts to go with it, is designsbylittleb.com, designsbylittleb.com, and most of those links are in the description below to let you know where you can find a lot of that stuff, because like stitchtopia.com, I do have a referral code that gives you an extra little percentage off if you use the referral code. So those are places you can go to get some really cute designs that you can use, and you don't have to worry about them being excessive with the amount of stitches, because that is very frustrating. Nancy Faust says, it has taken me 20 years to work my way up in machines. I now have a top of the line machine that does nearly everything except shake my head. Yeah, well, one thing's for certain, I do know brother has some machines that, have a whole lot of really cool features to them. Even projecting pictures and stuff. So, I'm excited one day we'll be able to upgrade. But for right now, I'm very satisfied with my 6-needle machine. Excuse me, you guys. I'm sorry. Tara Phelps, hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. Angel says, I ordered the SE600 to learn embroidery, and after binge watching your videos, I learned about the repositioning hoop. So I ordered those too and can't wait for them to arrive. You definitely want to try and invest in an embroidery editing software program to make that much easier for you, okay? You can do it without it, but definitely look into getting an embroidery software editing program. If you don't already have one, Sew It Pro is the one that I suggest highly. And the reason why I suggest Sew It Pro is because it is so affordable. Most of the other embroidery software programs out there are in the hundreds, okay? Sew It Pro can do what they do and circles around it in a lot of instances for $65. All right, so if you need to find you an embroidery editing program that's quite helpful, especially for a new person that's doing embroidery, Sew It Pro is what I would definitely suggest. All right, Nancy Faust, I take my PE770 to my embroidery club because it's easily transported. Embroidery club? That sounds like fun. Leah says, there, can't wait for your startup. It's new to you. Hi there, can't wait to start yours up. It's new. Well, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. So definitely check out videos. You're more than welcome to email questions. And I will try and answer them as quickly as possible to get you settled and comfortable with what you're doing with your embroidery machine. Marilyn Ray says that the granddaughter fell in love watching. Yeah, see, my kids wasn't trying to hear it when I was trying to get them into sewing and embroidery. It's just like, really, y'all, really. Kathleen Holland says, hello, Eve in the Hoop Group. Hello. You finally got a break from work so you can watch a little? Well, hello. We're sending embroidery hugs your way. Thank you for joining us this evening. Valerie says, I have a Janome 10,000 and MB4. Still need to upgrade. Don't have money for a bigger machine. And it'll come in time. But for right now, we definitely know that you're getting good use out of what you have. Marilyn Ray says the 5x7 is 130 by 180. Thank you. So, Lupe, you want to make sure that that is smaller than 130 by 180. All right? Please check that, because that is one of the first things that will cause an embroidery machine to kick a design and be like, nope. You try and pull it up and you see a blank screen and you're like, what did I do? I know it said it was 5x7. Okay, well, the designer probably didn't. It probably went over a little bit and you just don't know it. And it's very frustrating. So definitely look at that. Nancy Fowl says 5x7 is 189 by 120. So either way, please double check the price. Leah says you have the Fab 7574 and just got the brother PE600 as a gift. Well, we want to ring the bell for you, Leah. Congratulations on your PE600 as a gift. Very good gift. It sure was. So congratulations to you. And congratulations. Welcome to the embroidery family. It's very addicting. Don't say we didn't warn you ahead of time. Please check out the links below for some helpful websites to get you started in your embroidery journey. Okay, so Sheila Cushionberry, hey love, if you have a smaller hoop and want to do larger projects, Creative Kiwi has many designs that are multi-hooped piece designs, can end up with much larger than your hoop. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So Creative Kiwi. So check them out if you're interested in doing multi-hooping projects. Joyce Ricketts says, Nancy, that's the machine that you want. Well, hopefully you'll get the machine that you want. Barbara Nance says, if you're using a design that is 4x4, that might be another reason it didn't do 5x7. All right. So usually, even with a 5x7 hoop, you can do 4x4 without any issues on it. So I don't know. Definitely check and see if it's larger. I'm sure that's what the problem is. Kathleen Holland says, I need a small machine to take to class or to friends who also embroider. Any suggestions, recommendations? I don't want to take my brother Dream Creator, XE too big and bulky. Yes, that would be. So if you have the Dream Creator, 9 times out of 10, you would rather use the 5x7. So I would say the PE600. And because it's on a pretty good deal right now, $600, I would definitely say go with that if you can afford it. That's a really simple machine to carry around and do pretty decent embroidery projects with. Okay, very flexible machine. Kim Solomon, I have a brother 4x4 and love it and looking to upgrade, and it will come, ma'am. Just take your time, continue to plug away at that 4x4, and it will be in your shop sooner rather than later. Can this machine embroider hats and hoodies and crew necks? MNY talks, yes it can. Yes it can. So hats and hoodies and crew necks, there's a young guy here in the Charlotte area who came up with his own designer brand, and he was interested in having me do embroidery for him. He also wanted an embroidery machine himself. So after about a year and a half, he finally was able to get his own 4x4 machine. And when I tell you that boy embroiders just about anything, he's a really young guy. He's like 19, 20, maybe 21 by now. And he embroiders jeans, he embroiders jackets, he embroiders sweatshirts, he embroiders hoodies, he embroiders, what is that thing? It's like a face mask, but for the winter time, and it covers, you know, the nose right through here. He embroiders those, he embroiders ski masks. I mean, he even tried embroidering shoes, I think. And I was like, you gonna tear up the daggone machine with all the stuff he does. No mercy whatsoever on that machine. He embroiders all the time, everything. So I do know for a fact that yes, there's a lot you can do with that little machine. I've seen it. And that boy runs that machine all the time, always selling stuff. So yeah, he tries as much sweatbands. I mean, I ain't never seen it. It's crazy. So, but he loves that little 4x4 machine. And I'm sure he'd love to upgrade, and in time, I'm sure he will. But for right now, he is putting that work in on that embroidery machine. Barbara Nance says, I purchased a design yesterday from Etsy that didn't have all the steps needed to stitch out the design. Yeah, you have to be careful with that because the steps all need to be there. And if you're able, now one thing you can do, if you get a design from off of Etsy and the design on Etsy doesn't have everything, or if it's too dense, or if something's wrong with it, try reaching out to the seller. Sometimes they can fix the design. They may not have realized that they uploaded it with a step missing. Okay, so try reaching out to them and see if they'll fix it. If they won't, you may be out of it. But that's the thing. A lot of the designs on Etsy are super affordable, like really inexpensive, but you wind up getting some embroidery that's not the best. So yeah, definitely. Otis Lowry, Mr. Baby's Booty, is in here with us this evening. Thank you, honey, for welcoming all the folks that are here watching us this evening. I appreciate it. Teresa Gregg says, that's right, I love So What Pro. Teresa, I'm trying to tell you, that's the best thing since sliced bread. Ardeen says, yes, do it. I'm pro Baby Lock, but I tell you, these machines are awesome. Again, Baby Lock and Brother, they're the exact same company, all right? So they make some good products. You may have one or two bad apples, but just switch it out, call the company, let them know. And I'm sure you can get that resolved and get you a better operating machine. But very seldom do I hear of folks having a hard time with that machine. A lot of times it's user error, unfortunately. Maria says also try Swag Embroidery and the Grand. Both of them have a great deal of designs from many designers. You can download up to 3 free designs per week from Anne the Grand, more if you join her club. Now that's pretty cool. So if you want to get some embroidery designs that are reputable, definitely check those two out. All right. Angel says I will definitely look into Sew What Pro. You can find it on my website at thebabiesbooty.com. That is somewhere you can find it. It's thebabiesbooty.com. I do sell it on my webpage. All right. Dawn says hi from Vegas. And all these folks, look at here. Sheila Cushionberry says hello, Mr. Lowry. Barbara Dance says Mr. Lowry, thanks for sharing E with us. Deborah says hi, Mr. Lowry. So they're grateful. Thank you. I appreciate y'all for doing that. Marilyn Ray says hi, Mr. Lowry, and thank you for letting us borrow Eve. Yeah, he's ready probably for me to come back because I've been so sick. I don't want to talk and lose my voice again, y'all. It's crazy. I'm sitting here thinking it because it's starting to get scratchy. And I was like, I don't want to get sick again. Dawn says hi from Vegas. Welcome from Vegas. How are you, Dawn? Let us see here. Maria says, and the Grand is a great way for beginners to start accumulating designs to practice with and they stitch out beautifully. Okay, cool. So check out and the Grand for sure. Joyce Rickett says it's truly addictive. I don't go to bed before 12 a.m. every time. I don't know that I want to go to Anne the Grand. I don't need any other reason to spend money and stay up. I swear I don't. Debbie D says, hello, Mr. Lowry. Otis Lowry says, you guys are so welcome. She's just too wonderful to keep to myself. He says that now. Y'all are a trip. Dr. Thread says, hey, I have the SE600. Her name is Sassy. Well, hey, Dr. Threads, how are you? We're glad that you are letting us know how has Sassy been doing. All right. So I know the SE600 is the 4x4 machine and the newest one actually. So I'm sure that's the one with the color screen if I'm not mistaken. So I'm glad you're having a good time with Sassy. Creative Kiwi, yes, they have awesome designs and love that you can do much larger stuff than your hoop would normally do by patchworking and piecing together. Right? Eve's done it. Be like Eve. I don't know. Sometimes that may not be a good thing to be like me. I just bought this machine, the PE600, and I have no idea what to do. Thank you for this. I'm glad you mentioned the software program. Roxy, first of all, let's ring the bell for you. Congratulations, ma'am, Miss Roxy, on your PE600, your new baby. So please give her a name. The SE600. No worries. Congratulations. And the software program is an awesome program. So what Pro is, I'm trying to tell you guys, I was in tears when I first got my 4x4 machine and I was limited and I was like, okay, I just want to add a name. How can I add a name? I can't figure out how to do it. I was getting stressed all the way out. I ain't gonna lie. So then I was like, okay, how do I edit what I want? And when I look up how to edit embroidery designs, it was pulling up all these hundreds of dollars of program. And I'm like, I only paid $300 for the machine. Why am I going to pay $800 for the software? That doesn't even make sense. And I haven't even made money off of it like that, y'all. I was like just floored with that and so depressed and distressed. And it made me put the machine up and set it off to the side and not touch it for a while. And then one day I was like, okay, there has to be something else. So I typed in affordable or either cheap. I can't remember which one. Affordable embroidery software. And Sew What Pro popped up. And I've been a believer ever since. Once I downloaded that 30-day trial, tried it out, and then bought it for $65 and haven't looked back. I'm trying to tell y'all, it was the answer to all of the problems I was having. Okay, so I promote Sew What Pro and always have and always will, because it really came through for me when I couldn't afford much else. All right, you're just starting. How are you gonna be able to invest all of those other hundreds of dollars? It was crazy. So yes, the Sew What Pro is an excellent program. Eve, do you know, or does anyone know exactly where you are supposed to oil the machines? So Jody S, I do have an embroidery machine video on maintenance, how to maintain your embroidery machines. And it takes the 4x4 machine, which is very similar to the 5x7, and shows you how to take the cover off and how to take the bobbin case out and where to oil the machines and the points where my embroidery repair technician showed me how he maintains my machine for me. Now check your manual though as well, because sometimes I've gotten some flack, some kickback from folks saying, well, my manual doesn't say to do that. And okay, but I've been using my machine for 4 years now without any issues, and no problems. They've been running great. I haven't torn up anything yet by oiling it every so often. Of course, the oiling is supposed to be the more you use it, the more frequently you should oil it. But if you choose to go without oiling the machine, I mean, that's your choice. But I haven't had any issues. 1 drop of oil, and even my 6 needle tells me to oil 1 drop every day. So I would assume that the smaller machine, you should want to oil even more so. But who am I? Not really the extreme expert, but I know what has worked for me. So check your manual first and foremost. See if it recommends where to oil your machine. If it doesn't, you're more than welcome to watch my video, and you'll see the places where I oil mine and haven't had an issue out of it yet. See, Barbara Nat says her manual says not to oil. I mean, if you don't oil it and it breaks, I'm sure they'd love for you to buy another one. So that's why I'm like, every machine needs oil. Even sewing machines need oil. So, you know, you can choose to do whatever with your machine. I'm not going to tell you, no, don't listen to your manual. But I didn't listen to mine, and I haven't had an issue yet. All right. Does Sew What Pro use the BX fonts? No. Joyce Ricketts, the BX fonts are native to the Embrilliance program. Embrilliance has that locked down. Okay. But the Sew What Pro now does have a way to map fonts to where you can type it out on the keyboard. And there is a video out there, not by me, but there is a Sew What Pro video out there. Just type Sew What Pro mapping fonts, and it will show you how to map the fonts to your keyboard. There's some work involved. I choose not to do it because the way I do it is native to Sew What Pro. It's been that way in Sew What Pro. It is easy to do, and it doesn't bother me to do it that way with the info icon view, which I do have a video on that as well. But you can choose the route you want to take, whether it be keyboard or info icon view, and use the fonts. But no, BX is native to Embrilliance only. Okay, that's the only software program that uses BX fonts. All right. Swirling again. Oh no, I didn't know I was swirling. But I am actually getting ready to log out of here, you guys, because I'm seeing that it's 15 minutes after, and I wasn't going to hold you guys too long because I wanted to make sure I didn't do too much with my voice and hopefully not lose it again. But next week, we're looking at doing a project live, okay? So this one is going to be a really fun project, and especially with spring coming up, I think it's going to be something beneficial for everyone, and it'll come in handy. All right. Deborah Little, hello. Regina says she loves Sew What Pro. She has the 770 and she loves that too. Reese by Veronica says hello. Sorry you're late. It's all right. We're glad to have you in here with us. Jody S says your manual has nothing about oiling. Okay, we'll definitely check out the window. Dr. Thread says you love the color window. I'm glad you do. Let me see. Maintenance video is great. Help you keep your machines clean and running great, Debbie D. Well, thank you for letting me know that. It has helped me too. I'm trying to tell you. That's why I'm like, you know, whatever. It's up to each person. Teresa, Greg, hi Veronica, and Deborah, don't be sorry. No, because we definitely enjoy you joining us whenever you can. Lupe, can you please repeat the sites where to buy embroidery designs? Designs, I always get mine from embroiderylibrary.com. Embroidery library. And I'm going to type that in library. Can I spell it right? And then I also do urban threads. All right, and for 4x4 projects, I would do designs by Little B, and that is in the description below. I'm more than positive. All right, those are the 3 sites that I use for embroidery designs. For fonts, I use Stitchtopia, and I'm pretty sure that is not how you spell Stitchtopia. STITCHTOPIA.com. That's in the description below. Designs by Juju. I use her. Let me put .com. Let's see. Who else did I say? I use Designs by Juju. I use appliquecorner.com. I also use JOLSE Jolson's fonts. I don't know the website to Jolson's right off the top of my head, but Google Jolson's embroidery fonts and you'll find that. Miss Social Deb says Creative Kiwi Bows and Clothes has some really cute hair bow designs in the hoop. Oh my gosh, definitely look at that. So yes, that is awesome. Also, please definitely, when you get an opportunity, if you haven't already, take a look at and register for Creative Craft Cruise. Okay, please, 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 if you haven't already, $25 holds your reservation, and you have until May 4th, or the price will go up after May the 4th. So please go ahead, if you're planning to cruise with us, put down your $25 deposit and sail away with us on our crafting cruise. We're going to have a blast on board. I'm trying to tell y'all, I'm gonna act whole live fool out there on that ship, because I'm gonna have a good time. We gonna stay turned up the whole time. I'm just gonna have a really good time. So I'm looking forward to it. All right. So you guys, thank you for joining us this evening. I really appreciate having you. Always love having you guys join me live on Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to seeing you guys again with our next embroidery project video. Please check your links in the descriptions below. Please hit that like button. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed tonight's presentation. Subscribe to us if you're not a subscriber already. I need 25 more subscribers to get to 13,000 subscribers. How cool is that, right? 25 more people. I am so super stoked. So please subscribe. Hit the bell. Will is going Janet McKinney. Yes, he is. So I'm so excited, and I think Miss Debbie Kidd is too. I'm so excited to sail with y'all. Y'all just don't know. Y'all don't know how excited I am about this whole trip, because I'm going to have fun with each and every one of you, and I'm looking forward to it. All right. So until the next time I see you, I want you all to have happy embroidering. Look forward to checking you out again next week. Bye. Have a good night.